Good morning. I'm Gregory Lee. I'm the president of the U.S. mobile business. I thought that no one would show up. Every time I asked how many people are going to be here, first it started 300. That was the first number I got. And then the second number I got yesterday was 700. And today, 1,300 people. Wow. Thank you all very much for taking the time to come and join us. This is our first global developers conference, and we're quite proud to have this conference. And as I said, we never expected such a big crowd. We wanted to have initially a small one, but we now have people from 33 countries from around the world. And that's just perfect because, as most of you know, Samsung is truly a global brand. I can tell you what is going to happen in this developers conference is that you will get a chance to get insights into Samsung, maybe a little more than you had known before. You will get a chance to see some of our products that you may not have seen, some future technologies that you may hear about that you may not have heard, but also the SDKs and the latest updates on the SDKs, including the new ones like the Multiscreen gaming SDKs and the technologies around mobile and smart TVs. You get to see lots of new smart TVs and the latest updates. And by the way, we'll talk to you about Knox, which is Samsung's enterprise security service. And you'll be amazed about that. And Samsung's multi-screen technology. So you'll get a chance to see the Samsung products all the way around. I'm just here to give you a quick introduction, and there'll be many interesting sessions following. And I'm here to tell you that there are two great reasons why you should be developing for Samsung. And the first one is that we have tremendous reach around the world. You may know this in almost every country around the world, whether it's China or Southeast Asia or Australia or Japan. We have reach all around the world. And in most cases, we're number one in smartphones in all those markets. And we have products at every segment and every price point. So your applications, your work can be reached all over the world across all of those products, especially in mobile devices. And number two, and I think this is what we can offer as we go forward, the applications that you'll develop will be reached across all of our devices, not just the smartphones, tablets, PCs, but also TVs, enterprise solutions, even in hotel rooms. There's so many different opportunities for convergence that's happening now. And last, we have tremendous potential for upside because we're just getting started in this. It's not like we've been doing this for a long time. We're just getting started. So your work can have tremendous upside and exposure. And lastly, all of us here from Samsung that you'll get to see is here to listen to you and learn how we can collaborate with you to do even a greater relationship between developers and Samsung. So thank you again for coming, and we look forward to a great session. Thank you very much.
Samsung is a leading innovator in mobile, and Samsung devices are some of our most popular devices with our users. So we couldn't be the real estate leader on mobile without being on Samsung.
There's hundreds of thousands of games for consumers to choose from. How do you break through the noise? Well, one way to do that is to be fortunate enough to partner with somebody like Samsung.
We partnered with Samsung because Samsung's ubiquitous. Their devices are everywhere, and their devices reach a lot of the people we want to reach.
Every team at Samsung is really focused on their core innovation and making it a huge success.
The partnership with Samsung, I think, is a way for us to work together and make something more interesting than would happen by ourselves.
Zillow's app can be incredibly dense with information. You can look at every house of the more than 110 million homes in the country. but navigating through those on a map can be challenging even with touch. So we implemented the S Pen to let users more easily pick the homes they're looking for and sort their search results.
The most important elements of the Galaxy Gear integration are essentially notifications. Messages from a buyer or seller move up to being notified on Galaxy Gear.
Samsung's tablets, Samsung's devices are everywhere. So our engagement with Samsung is all about taking advantage of Samsung's reach. And Sketchbook is our product that allows people to create innovative, interesting designs. And the reason we looked at the Samsung tablets is it really allows people to do things that they never were able to do before on a computer.
So we're still in the process of developing our game with Samsung right now. So they've been very open and collaborative with us. It's been a fantastic working experience, especially for a small company like C Games.
We work with them to take advantage of their platform and the innovations they have in their mobile devices as well as their wearable devices to make sure that the experience for our customers and their customers is the best that it possibly can be.
We partnered with Samsung on this integration of the Galaxy Gear because Samsung has a tremendous reach and we get to draft on each other when you do partnerships like this.
Well, I think for us, it's about continuing to extend our lead in mobile real estate. That means partnering with companies like Samsung. That means bringing new services, new experiences to mobile, to tablets.
What's next for C Games? We're excited to bring racing rivals to Samsung's devices before the end of the year.
We're all excited about where we're going with Samsung. We're excited with getting more of our applications out there in front of the users because they're installed right on the Samsung device from the get-go.
Samsung has done a really great job in partnering with application providers so that they don't have to depend just on their own teams to create the best experience. They can also work with the best software companies in the world, like Easily do, to create great experiences for their customers.
It's important for us to work with companies like Samsung who are pushing the envelope on what's the next way for consumers to interact and be connected. And ultimately, if we do it right, we'll make our joint customer happy.
Please welcome to the stage Curtis Sasaki.
Wow, what a full house. I'm Curtis Sasaki. I work in our San Jose office, and I'm pleased all of you are here today. If you've seen the actual program guide, you probably noticed the session is fully packed with lots of different technical tracks, but we also have tracks on very interesting areas, from the future of education, how to create interesting NFC applications, even on health, and wearables, both present and future. I'm sure many of you are wearing a wearable on you right now. I have actually several. There's also a panel discussion on monetization, an area which I'm very interested in as well. A panel on cross-platform applications, multi-screen gaming, as well as a debate on web, hybrid, or native applications. The schedule is very packed, and I know you may have some trouble deciding which sessions to go to. But at the end of the day, we hope that when you leave this conference, you'll have a broader understanding of all the different opportunities available to you as a developer. If you're a mobile developer, you might actually find that developing for a smart TV could be interesting. And if you're a smart TV developer, you might find developing an enterprise application could also be pretty interesting for you as well. I joined Samsung about 2 years ago, and I've had the privilege to actually meet and talk with many developers. Here's what I heard. First, how can I differentiate my application or service? With 1 million applications out there, how can I stand above the noise and get actually recognized and downloaded? Second, how can I optimize my development process? Third, who do I call at Samsung? How do I get help? Fourth, where are the new opportunities going to be? How do I actually go where the puck is going, not where it was? While you're here to learn, we at Samsung are here to listen to you. Now, we believe the opportunity is incredible for you. IDC said that Samsung last year shipped over 250 million PCs, tablets, and smartphones, not even counting feature phones. That's over 190% growth from the previous year. And in smart TVs, we sell about 2 TVs every second. Now, after this 1-hour keynote, there's going to be about 76 or 7,200 TVs sold. Now, that's a lot of devices in the hands of consumers. And these consumers are looking for the best applications and services, which hopefully will come from you, the developers. Now, innovation. We also know that at Samsung, we have to continuously innovate. These innovations create new opportunities for you. In 2011, we introduced a Note, and that created a whole new category of products in the smartphone space, as well as in tablets. The pen itself spurred over 1,800 new applications. Now, there's a couple of my favorites. One is a pen-based Sudoku. The second one, if you're a coach of basketball or baseball, is a pen-based play calling application. And I've seen over the last couple of weeks new applications from Bloomberg and Business Week that leverages our hover feature and the pen that really makes it easy to read articles. It's also enabled a whole new breed of artists that creates all kinds of different styles of art. So much so that there's an application called PenUp. PenUp allows you to join an online community. You can follow your favorite artists. You can create and publish your own creations, and you can connect with other talented people. I don't know about you, but seeing some of these photos are pretty amazing, especially the one of the dog in the middle. So what's the big news of the conference? First, we recently introduced a new mobile SDK, and I'm going to give you some examples of what's in it that's new. Second, Eric Anderson is going to take you through the brand new Smart TV 5.0 SDK. And you'll hear 2 very exciting new areas around multiscreen. And fourth, you're going to hear about all the opportunities presented by developing for our enterprise using the Knox Enterprise SDK. So let's first talk about the mobile SDK. The mobile SDK includes 10 packages, 124 classes, and over 800 APIs. The new packages include pen, media control, gesture, professional audio, look, visual view, multi-window, image filter, chord, and motion. I'm not going to go through all of these in detail. I'm going to pick just a couple. So, for example, in an enhanced pen, it includes Air View, advanced editing. You could even embed media. Professional audio allows you to create musical instruments. It has plugins for pianos, guitars, and drums, so you can create your own symphony. Visual View supports transitions, including animations, and even sprite animations and advanced geometry. And image filters allows you to create photo applications very easily. Now, one of the unique capabilities of Samsung's Note products is pen. And we've integrated seamless handwriting recognition into text field. The APIs allow you to detect pressure, hover events, as well as signature recognition. Let me show you a quick example using Air Command, Writing Buddy, and Scrapbook. You'll see how all these capabilities get utilized in one of my demos here. So to set this up, I actually grew up in Hawaii, and my parents just turned 90 years old. And they keep asking me, when are you moving back to Hawaii? I'd like to be there right now. But I've been to Hawaii about 3 months ago, and I went house hunting just to see. And imagine driving around in your car and trying to take out a device and bring up the keyboard and entering something in. It can take too much time. So I'm going to show you a little bit easier way. Okay. Now, demo gods, please be with me. This is a live demo. Okay. So first, I bring up an air command, and I'm going to use my handwriting. I'm going to type in the address of the house I just saw. 766293 Leone Street. That's in Kona, Hawaii. Okay, so you're going to see some magic here. So it lets me automatically pick one of my favorite applications. And what it's showing you are two of my favorite real estate applications, which I tend to use more than even going to Amazon. But I'm going to use Trulia for this example. And I can see the internet is being used heavily here. So what you see is it brings up and finds a lot of homes. So let me see this here again. And it actually supports what's called air view. So I'm actually using the pen, I'm actually hovering over, and it actually brings up. So, you know, my finger is very large, so there's no way I could actually pick in a very condensed area. Now, in Hawaii, as you know, if you've been to Kona, it's a very hot place. So actually, I want to find a place that has a swimming pool. So what I'm going to do is go up here, and you see down here in keywords. So rather than actually bringing up a keyboard, I'm actually going to type in pool. And you see it automatically translated. And the application developer didn't have to change anything with their app. It actually was automatically done for you. So you can see now it actually only shows homes with pools. Now I'm going to like hover here, and you see it has one that's a little expensive. But that's an incredible pool with an incredible view. So I'm going to use another feature called Scrapbook. I'm going to highlight it. And you see it actually stores all that information about the house, including the picture. And of course, you can actually write a memo. Anybody good that can help me in this one? Okay, so let me save that. And I'm going to save it to my house hunting category. Okay, let's exit that. And later on, when you're home, you can actually bring up the scrapbook. And there it is. You can see all the other homes I had looked at. And it even brought up my note. It's that easy. Okay. The next feature that we're going to talk about is multi-window. Now, if you've ever used one of our Note products, you see the advantages of multitasking, but multi-window really brings it to life. But with the new SDK, you can also now resize windows. You can even run 2 instances of every application at the same time. Now, one of the really cool features is if you like running 2 applications all the time, you can actually save those 2 applications as a single icon. So next time you come back, you just hit that one icon and both applications open the way you left it. There's also a slide-out bar that has a listing of all your multi-window applications, and your applications that you write can be shown right in that list. Now, to show you how multi-window and S Pen support can really improve the user experience, let me introduce Michael Ducker. He's a senior product manager from Twitter, to show you the brand new Twitter application. Hi, Michael.
So I'm going to show off today the new Twitter for Android tablet apps that are available first on Samsung tablets. We've gotten to make some great use of the Samsung Mobile SDK to add some new features that are only available in this app. So starting in the app, we have the new Twitter Discover widget. And this widget helps you ambiently find the best photos, sports, music, whatever's happening in your feed. I can just swipe through it, back and forth. So here's this great photo. This looks like it's snowing in Tahoe. which is probably pretty exciting for people in this room. And I can press back to see the Twitter for Android tablet app, main screen. We've designed this app to fill the screen with photos, tweets, conversations, and more. It's designed from the ground up just for Android tablets. Here's a photo. Here's my conversations. Twitter is great to connect with your friends, and today we've been talking a lot about the new Starbucks Tweet a Coffee. You can tweet a coffee to your friend, and they'll receive it and be able to buy it at Starbucks. Here's my profile, which is this great photo-forward version of me. It's all the photos I've taken over the last couple days, including this great set of cupcakes we had at the office. Sometimes you want to do more than one thing at once. For example, I might be browsing the New York Times, and I might be inspired to tweet something. And with Samsung multi-window, it's easy to tweet and browse the web at the same time. I just slide in from the left and drag Twitter straight into the left. Drop it. And now I'm right back where we were. Full Twitter app optimized for the smaller screen. And I can still use the web browser. Let's just close this out. So Twitter is a great place to express yourself. And I'm on stage. It's fun to take a photo and tweet it. So let's do that. Curtis, come on stage. So I have a lot of cables here. To tweet, you don't even need to leave Twitter. You can just press the new tweet button. And there's a camera button on the right. Say cheese, Curtis. All right. That looks great. So it's fantastic. So Twitter has a bunch of filters to make your photos look beautiful, even in any lighting condition. I like this one. And normally this is where the photo experience of Twitter ends. But with the Samsung Pen API, we were able to take it further. Starting with this app, you can now draw illustrations on tweets. Or, as I like to do it, draw on top of the photo. Just tap the pen, and you'll get a drawer. So it's Halloween, right? So let's draw a little ghost. And maybe a pumpkin. Perfect. Now, no tweet's complete without a caption, right? But instead of having to type on a keyboard, I can use my S Pen. Hello, SDC. Perfect. So the new Twitter app for Android tablets is available first on Samsung tablets today and preloaded on the new Galaxy Note 10. Thanks for having me, Curtis. Thank you.
Wasn't that cool? So one more demo. It's on Samsung Cord. So Cord provides an easy way to discover devices around you using UDP. And then we provide a secure, reliable peer-to-peer connection using TCP/IP. It enables real-time experiences across devices. Cord also supports groups. And you can be in multiple groups at the same time, like a photo group, a gaming group, and it works very seamlessly. To show you a simple example that utilizes Cord, let me introduce Tao, who's going to help me with the next demo. Hi, Tao. Now, when I was a kid, I used to like playing air hockey. You remember those air hockey tables? So, remember how this used to be the fun game? But, it's kind of boring kind of playing with myself here, Tao.
And I like air hockey too.
You do?
You can play together.
How do we actually get to play together here?
So connecting device using the Cord SDK is really easy. For this demo, I'm going to use a simple pinch gesture to bring these two devices together. So let me launch the app first. And we're going to put this device side by side. You can put it on the table. And I'm going to do a pinch. Here we go. Yep.
Did you see that? She just put her two fingers together and it automatically paired the applications and tablets.
Right, so now we can start a match. Whoa,
I
that
scored.
was fast.
I didn't do anything. I scored twice. Okay, come on. Let's go one more time.
I want to try to score.
Oh,
yes.
there you go. Okay, one more. Here we go.
I'm going to beat you, Curtis.
Oh, okay, it's tied. Shall we go one more? Okay, there we go. Hey! Now, Tao, I know you have to get off the stage, but what's going to happen when you go away.
So the connection built on the Core SDK is decentralized, so which means that players can come and go at any time. So now I'm going to exit the game, and you can see that you're back to one player game.
Wow, do you see that? I didn't even touch my device, and it automatically did the right thing, and I can play just with myself and lose.
Yep, and then tomorrow we're going to have a session where our presenter is going to use the source code of this game to showcase how to build an amazing app using the Core SDK. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Tao.
Thank you.
So those are only 4 things that's included in the new mobile SDK. And we have sessions to cover all of the other really cool parts of the mobile SDK that you can go to. The second area I want to talk about is the Samsung Service SDK. Now, we believe that developers want the best ability to monetize and differentiate their applications. The service platform not only runs on mobile devices, phones and tablets, but also works on our smart TVs. There are 7 key components of the service APIs. They include Samsung Ad Hub, in-app purchase, Samsung Wallet, Chat On, Samsung Account, Group Play, and Samsung Connect. And we're only going to talk about a few of these here. First is Ad Hub. Ad Hub is a cross-platform in-app advertising solution. It works across multiple devices, as well as multiple operating systems, including Android, iOS, as well as on Samsung TVs. The Ad Hub utilizes a real-time bidding so that developers can maximize how much revenue they make because the ads are the most premium ads. Using Samsung SDK, you can include multiple advertisement types in your apps, including banners, expandable images, pre-launch videos, and much more. Next is in-app purchase. And we know developers make a lot of money with in-app purchase. In-app purchase 2.0 now supports selling digital goods, supports a freemium model, and subscriptions. And these applications are supported when you actually put them in the Samsung App Store. In-app purchase supports over 60 countries and payment methods including Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. In-app purchase 2.0 also adopted AIDL, Android Interface Definition Language. And what does that mean? It means that your applications can leverage in-app purchase via inter-process communications. Developers can register your items directly in the in-app purchase portal. In your app, you can use Samsung in-app service to complete a purchase so that you don't actually have to implement your own complicated payment system. Third is Wallet 2.0, which was just recently introduced. It supports ice cream sandwich and higher devices. And once you integrate Wallet, you can instantly utilize and inherit over 100 million Samsung account users for free. Samsung Wallet is very straightforward and easy to integrate. It uses 3 simple RESTful HTTP requests, and all it returns is in the simple JSON format. It supports both client-side as well as server-side integration. So as a developer, you can make HTTP calls directly from your client, or if you use a server, you can have your server make the calls. Now, if you don't want to create a database or host your own system, you can use the Samsung Wallet database from us directly. Wallet 2.0, as you can see, supports 5 categories and 8 different templates. So offers, coupons, membership cards, and tickets are all supported. But the most interesting feature for me is around geofencing. You can actually geofence up to 20 different alerts, all from predefined lat, longitude, altitude, as well as a radius. So imagine your customer is walking to a particular shopping center, and they're getting the right offers and coupons. Here's a list of some of the partners in the US. So some of the very big names. that are already working with us on Wallet. Finally, there's Chat-On. You know, Chat-On is a Samsung branded messaging service. It has over 100 million users worldwide. It's also multi-platform. It runs on Android, iOS, BlackBerry, Windows Phone, and even through a web browser. With Chat-On APIs, you can actually make your applications more social. Developers who use Chat-On can send text messages, which also includes photos and videos. With the new Chat-On Gaming API, it allows you to directly invite other Chat-On members to play. But really cool, you can actually share all your gaming scores with all your Chat-On buddies. Now, I just covered very briefly some of the new service APIs, and we have sessions that you can learn about, all of them and more. We think with the new mobile SDK and the new service SDKs, it presents the opportunity to actually move into more entertainment and gaming applications. We think there's opportunities in health and fitness, opportunities in social, and of course, LBS, especially with Bluetooth LE, geofencing, and other location services. Now, according to Nielsen, this was actually stunning to me. In the US alone, there are over 6 devices in a home, and up to 3 TVs on average. That's a lot of devices in the home. I think the opportunity for all of us in the room is how do we actually create the services that connects them together in a very meaningful way. With that, I'd like to introduce Eric Anderson. He's Vice President from Samsung Electronics America to tell you all about what's new in the Smart TV. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Okay, wait a minute. Do we have the right conference here? Is this the semiconductor conference? Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. Excellent. My name's Eric Anderson. I'm here to introduce to you the Samsung Smart TV SDK 5.0. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. Great to have you back. Hope to get to know more of you over the course of the conference. In the next couple days, we're here for you guys. We're here to help you get familiar with and comfortable with these new development tools. And in the process, hopefully, we'll create some energy and some motivation to create the next big thing. And to create new experiences that take advantage of the largest connected and multi-screen end user base in the world. But before we dig down deep into the technology, I think it's also important that we keep in mind some of the key things about experience and about the emotion side of what we do day in and day out. Now, I'm sure I'm not alone in this room to say that I spent way too many hours watching OTT and original programming. Of course, that's my job description, so I get to do that without any hassle. But I think if there's one thing that Netflix, House of Cards have taught us in this convergence time of technology and multi-screen is that story still matters. And it's very important that as we start to look at these tools and start to explore the technical and the functional capabilities of these devices, that we have to keep in mind also when we get down deep into that binary, that emotional affinity with that consumer is also important, that those use cases need to be relevant, and that it's about creating that emotional tie as well as exploring and innovating on that functionality. So let's keep that in mind as we go through the conference over the next couple days. We've been leading in smart television since 2007. In 2007 and 2008, we introduced Samsung InfoLink, which was really an RSS feed into the connected TV, provided news and weather and updates. In 2010, we hit another major milestone, and that's when we launched our first Smart TV application storefront, as well as our first SDK And that's when we also launched some of our first developer community conferences and contests. And what I wanted to do today is show you a little bit more about what we did in 2013. In 2013, we introduced the first quad-core smart TV out there in the marketplace today, as well as a brand new UI UX. Now, to help me out with this next portion of the presentation, I'm going to call upon one of our newest family members of Samsung, which is our Samsung 55-inch OLED curved screen smart TV. In addition to its beauty, it also has brains. And this is our first screen of the UI UX that some of you may already be familiar with, but this is what we call on TV. The significance of this is that this is the first screen coming out of your set-top box. This is linear content presented to you, though, in a content-driven navigation type of way. It's learning from your behavior. It's showing you the channels and the shows that you watch so that you can have quick time to pick those programs and figure out where you want to go next. The next panel that we have is OTT oriented. So this is where all the over-the-top content, whether it be TV series or movies, is located. And so what happens here is when you find a show that you'd like, you select that show, and then it actually provides you a choice of service providers, whether it be Netflix, Vudu, or Samsung Watch On, that you can choose that content from. The next panel is our personal panel. This is photos, videos, and music. Really what this is your personal portal into all of the content that you have in your home. You can access any content from any connected device that's connected to this smart TV, whether it be a camera, whether it be a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone. This is your portal into that personal content, and you can bring it up and see it in vibrant 1080p resolution. And finally, this is our next panel, which is the social panel. So once you get the TV connected, you can connect right into your social community. You can bring these up and you can see what's happening. I will tell you from experience, your teenage kids really don't like to see their Facebook in front of their parents in 1080p. But for the rest of the family, it's quite enjoyable, and it's also an area where we do our video conference and our video calls with Skype. Last but not least, this is the application page. This is for all of you out there. This is where we bring it all to the market as far as the new applications and where the content or the consumer can manage those applications and content. Up top, we have a area called Recommended, and these are areas that we refresh every month. It's refreshed with applications that are trending well as new applications that we want to promote and see what kind of activity they can produce. Also, we have a promotion screen here which actually promotes new applications and provides deep links into those applications for easy download and activation. And then down below is the More Apps area. That's really for the consumer, this is where all of their downloaded apps are accessible, and they can prioritize those or manage those as they see fit. So that is the 2013 Smart TV UI UX. And in addition to a great, robust UI UX and beautiful design on the TV, you have to ask yourself, what's the usage look like? What does the activity look like? So I'm here to proudly say that the activity looks really good and really strong, and it's building every day. We have over 70% of our Smart Hub-enabled devices, that's smart TVs and Blu-rays, are activated right now, and that's well above industry average. And that's growing at a rate of about 1% every month. For those devices that are activated, we see that users are going to Smart Hub approximately 40 times a week. Over-the-top content, video content is very popular. We're seeing about 20% of those people that use the Smart Hub actually utilizing over-the-top type of video, so a little bit of cord shaving, if you will, that's happening there. But what's also important, and when you measure engagement, is duration. How long are people actually into those sessions? And we're seeing a lot of different variants within that duration model, But for some of the key partners, I just wanted to pull up things from Hulu, Uvadeos, and Pandora. And you can see that it's anywhere from about an hour up to almost 3 hours a day per session on Pandora. And our friends at Netflix are logging right around 2 million hours per day, every day during the weekends. So there's a lot of usage that is happening on the Samsung Smart TV. A lot of clicks, a lot of duration. In addition to what's here today, we also have to anticipate what's in the market or what's trending right now and what's going to be there in the future. So a lot of the tools and enablers that you're going to be discussing over the next couple days are going to address some of these new trends. There's a lot of things happening in multiscreen. Multiscreen is sharing that content from screen to screen, device to device. But there's also a variant of that called second screen storytelling. And you might hear of this from some of the shows and directors and producers that are actually writing scripts that take in consideration a second screen in the room, and they can provide complementary and supplementary content that is relevant to the storyline while that story is going. That's what we call second screen storytelling. Lots of things related to interactive TV as well, whether it be trivia or couponing and things of that nature, as well as TV commerce, ways that you can actually shop the shows, buy merchandise off the application that you're using or off the TV show that you're watching. And a lot of this is enabled by some new technology in the industry today called automatic content recognition. I shouldn't say it's new, but it's new too as far as being embedded and included in a lot of our top-of-the-line TVs, 7,000 and up. From 2012, 2013 and beyond, all of our top-of-the-line TVs have automatic content recognition software built into the firmware of the TV. And that's an opt-in feature for the user, but that enables a lot of rich and unique interactive types of experiences. So let's talk a little bit more about the SDK itself. SDK 5.0 is the sixth member in the family. It's the sixth revision and release that we've had starting back in 2010. And actually in 2013 we've been really busy, and by design we've actually released 3 different versions of our SDK. And that's because there is a lot that's going to happen in 2014. And we want to make sure that you guys have the most robust foundation to develop on as we move forward. And let me just explain some of the stair steps that we did this year. In 4.0, we focused on making it easier for you to develop on multiple operating systems from your developer tool. So now we support both Mac, or all Mac and Linux, as well as Windows out there. And we also provided the APIs and the hooks into our motion sensing and our voice control capabilities of these devices. In 4.5, we did a little bit of a tune-up, and we provided the Google native client, which a lot of you know makes it a lot easier to port C and C++ applications to the platform. And then we also introduced the Air 3.0 to the emulator. All of those things led up to the big, bolder functional overlays that we're really announcing today and that you'll get to know more over the course of the couple days. And the first one is in multi-screen capabilities. Juan Pablo is going to be up after myself, and he's going to talk a little bit more about what that specifically can do within the SDK and what that'll enable you to do with your experiences. We all know that smart home is gaining momentum, and it's going to continue to gain momentum in 2014 and beyond. And so in addition to connecting to our home entertainment devices and screens, we want you to be able to connect to our large portfolio in our home appliance and our smart home and automation devices as well. So I like to call it lights, camera, and refrigerator. That's part of that SDK. And then finally, we have some housekeeping that we need to do as it relates to FCC's closed captioning. And within that, we've built in a few different tool sets that you can use: the CEA 708, the SMPTE TT, and the SAMI, which will help in satisfying that FCC mandate. So that's really a quick overview of what we did in 2013, and specifically what you guys get to look forward to in 5.0. If you haven't done so already, the best way to get started is to go to the Samsung forum, samsungdforum.com, and this is where you can download your SDK and get a lot of questions answered. Once you've built that application, you submit it. We do some QA testing on it, and once we launch it, then you can change your site and focus on the seller office or the seller.samsungapps.com. This is the site that you can go to manage and look at the activity and the analytics for how your application is doing on our platform. So with that, I hope you have a great conference, and if you have any questions, just to remind you to go ahead and text #SDC13. My name is Eric Anderson. Look forward to meeting a lot of you over the next couple days, and thank you very much. Come on out. I want to tell a story here.
Please welcome to the stage Juan Pablo Hennico.
I wanted to, before we brought Juan Pablo out, I wanted to share a story. And this is, it wasn't that long ago, 2010.
Yeah.
You were sitting out there,
Yeah.
right?
As a developer.
And we did one of our first developer conference for the Smart TV, and we had this team of, what do you have, 3, 4?
4 people.
From Atlanta, Georgia, that made a submission into our contest, and it was called WeDraw. Has anybody checked out WeDraw on the Smart TV? Yeah? All right. So that was one of the first multi-screen type of applications that was ever on the Samsung Smart TV. We loved it so much that they actually came back and helped us with our next year's conference and challenge, and we loved that so much that we actually bought the company. So Juan Pablo's now family, and he's here to tell you a little bit more about how that platform is going to be integrated into our Samsung Smart TV and mobile platform. Thanks.
Thank you, Eric.
Right,
Good morning. It's really great to be here, and it's incredible to be at Samsung. And one thing I have learned at Samsung is we always talk about the next big thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about the next big thing for developers. So over the past few years, we have seen amazing opportunities for developers, from PCs to the web to the revolution in mobile. So the question everybody's asking is, what is the next big thing for developers? And the answer is TV. But TV is not alone. Today's living room is full of devices. It is completely multi-screen. And as users, we would love to see those devices talking to each other and really connecting. And as developers, we know there's a big opportunity there. So what's missing? A platform that allows developers to easily create multi-screen applications. So that's why we are today introducing Samsung Multiscreen SDK. It is a platform that connects any mobile device to Samsung Smart TVs. It is a platform that will allow you to create seamless experiences for the living room. So when building the platform, we focused on simplicity. First, the user. It had to be very simple for the users. As users, we don't want to go through the trouble. So the platform allows you to discover content on your device and launch an experience on your Smart TV without anything else. Simple. You don't have to look for remote controls, connect boxes, get under the table. Just touch the glass here, and it's on the glass there. I like to call it glass to glass. And for developers, we also wanted to make it simple. We know that you guys don't want to go through the trouble if it's complicated, so we want to remove all that complexity. So we created a simple set of APIs for Android, for iOS, for JavaScript, and for C++. So we'd love to tell you a lot about everything about these APIs. So I want to invite you to come to our session tomorrow. We're going to do a deep dive and show you how the APIs work. And it's tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, the Multiscreen SDK session. So let me show you the Multiscreen SDK in action. So I'm watching TV. Okay, I thought it was backwards. Anyway, I'm watching TV, and we asked a developer to create a few applications that I can demonstrate to you today. They use our SDK. They spent about 2 weeks, and they did some quick things. So the first one is my Twitter feed. So if you're seeing my phone here, it's a normal Twitter feed. I am here seeing all the questions you're asking for SDC13, and I'm just going to connect to the TV. So I touch my device one time, and my phone automatically discovered my TV, and he knows it's a living room TV. So I click on that, and now I have my Twitters on the screen, my tweets. So I can move it around. They created my ability to move the tweets to one side to the other. They could have done one tweet, or program whatever they like, because this is just simple APIs on the Android. And when I click here, what's happening is an HTML iframe is displaying the content coming from the cloud. It's very, very simple. HTML, Android. So I'm going to show you another example. And this is a very nice example as well. It's a photo sharing application. So let's say I want to just click on a picture, and I share it on the screen. So that's my dog, Oscar. And I asked Oscar to do something interesting for the conference, so he did. Let's see. There he is. Okay. And I'm going to share just one last picture. Of course, we're watching TV at the same time, so I'm over live TV, same simple HTML page on top of live TV. And I go back to it. Okay, I'm going to show you another example. And this is a sports application. So while I'm watching TV, I want to know what's going on with the teams that are playing. So I have my scores there. It's a simple application. And now I see that my team, Colombia, is losing the game. So I have to go check that out. So I click on the, on the game, and I just switch the channel. Because, of course, developers have access to everything that's happening on the TV through the SDK. And I want to catch up with it. I want to see what's going on. There's the statistics. Or I want to see who's playing. I see that my favorite player is there, and I have an option to click on a camera that is following only him. Or I can send a comment. I can connect socially and say, Colombia. Oh, I made a mistake here. Colombia. And something's happening in the game. So the programmer has the option to go to the administration page and send the question. And everybody that's connected to the experience gets that question. And I'm going to say, will Colombia score? And I say, of course. And this was a very important game for us. And we scored, and we qualified for the World Cup, so it was amazing. And I didn't miss it because I was able to jump around using my device. But to take the social TV experience even further, we've worked with a company local here called Rabbit, and they're experts in video chat. So they're integrating their experience into the Smart TV. So I'm going to show you how that will work. I'm going to click on Stephanie, yeah? And I'm going to invite her. So she will get a notification. Click on it, and her TV will be connected to the experience, and there she is. So using her camera on her device, she's broadcasting. And I'm going to now invite Philippe and Nicolas to also come and watch the game with us. Of course, I had to share it. So there they are. So you can imagine the possibilities. This is just some examples that I wanted to show today. So I'm sure you want to hear from someone that is actually using our SDK. So one of our content partners, Pandora, has been using the Multiscreen SDK. And I would like to invite to the stage Carl Edwards. He is Director of Device Engineering for Pandora, and he's here to tell you about his experience with the SDK. Hey, Carl. Thank you very much. Which device? Is it this one?
Well, am I on? Hello, hello.
About 2 weeks ago, Juan Pablo's team delivered an SDK to us and says, we want you to connect the Pandora mobile application to the smart TV. So during that time, we took the Multiscreen SDK, and we were able to integrate that into our iOS, Android, and our HTML5 for TV applications. So right here, I have Pandora playing music. Maybe when I come on inside of the home, as I walk inside of the house, maybe I was out listening to Pandora driving the car or going out for a walk. And so as I come on inside of the home, come on, Pablo.
You're not connected?
It's not connecting. I'll try it again.
It's this one. This is the one.
Okay. Got to use the right phone.
There?
Good. It's up. All right. Thank you.
Sorry.
So as I come inside of the home, the Pandora application will automatically detect that there is a smart TV present, indicated by the icon down in the bottom right near the volume bar. So if I select that, I can pick the TV that I want to start making Pandora play on there. So what this does is it takes the Pandora audio that's currently playing on the phone and transfers control to our HTML5 application running on the smart TV. While this is playing the audio up here and moving along, progressing through songs, that same information is being transmitted back to the phone, so the phone is kept up to date with what's playing on the screen. So I could do things such as look at more information about this artist. I can also do things such as like thumbs up, and that's indicated here also on the screen. Skip the song. And also I can, by using the volume bar down at the bottom, I can also adjust the volume on the TV itself. And this is the physical TV volume. So now we've been able to transfer the Pandora control up to the TV set. But there's another really cool thing about this, is that this is a smart TV. And this has the ability with their APIs to do some really cool things. So we thought we would try an experiment with that to see how that would look. So I'll come back down to my connected TVs, and I select picture in a picture. And what this allows me to do is to have Pandora put down into a small picture in the picture while showing me what's currently playing on the TV. Coming all the way back, I can select it back out of picture in the picture, bringing Pandora back into the full screen. So there's a lot of power here to bring in a brand new user experience by having your HTML5 applications use these APIs and also connect with your mobile device. The APIs were really simple for us to integrate, and they're very straightforward. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Carl. We're really excited about Pandora multi-screen experience. And today I just want to invite everybody to come into the living room. We think it's an amazing opportunity in the living room. And we'd like you to try our SDK, give us some feedback. It's coming 11, 12, 13. You can go to multiscreen.samsung.com. Thank you very much. Oh. Sorry, I forgot to introduce Kyu-Ho Kim. He's going to tell you some very important announcements about multi-screen gaming. So he's coming. Kyu-Ho Kim, thank you. It was okay?
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to serving today's crowd. I see some of you have been fumbling with your phones, playing games every now and then during the session. Juan's previous session must be very entertaining. There's no need to ramble on about how much mobile game has evolved. All of us here are the very witnesses. With this, people today can play high-quality games like Modern Combat and Need for Speed. When they are done, they shove it right back in their pockets. What's great for us is they carry this thing around everywhere. That means games follow them everywhere too. What if, the question I have for you then is, what can you do to make mobile game experience better? What if we add a game controller into the equation? It works. Let me start off with a short clip to help you get a better idea about what I'm talking about. Yes, it works. Portable device. Samsung wants to unleash the potential of our mobile devices to provide console-like gaming experience. No sound. All right. And our mobile console service is the first tangible step towards that. With a dedicated launcher and gamepad, the experience is as complete as any game console can deliver. Ultimately, this experience will evolve to a Samsung multiscreen gaming platform designed to combine smart TV and Galaxy phones into a single gaming platform. We understand that introducing a new platform requires strong support from our developer partner as well. I know a lot of you here today are interested in opportunities for our new gaming platform, which is why we are dedicated pushing improvement. Which is why we are dedicated to pushing improvement for our developer partner community, including seller-side experience, including revamping seller-side experience, enhancing technical support, and so on. The most important innovation, however, would be a game development kit optimized for multi-screen platform. A GDK that is easy to use, that can greatly simplify the development process, and that can breathe life into our new ecosystem. To make this point clearer to you, I have invited a special guest. A guest, I believe, who does know a thing or two about what a GDK should be like. The CEO of Unity, Mr. David Helgason. Thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Wow. Hey, thanks. This is so exciting. Well, you know, we've been friends with the Samsung guys for quite a while. And of course, for a really long time, we've been, you know, building our game development platform, which is used by so incredibly many people. We're proud to say that over 50% of game developers out there are using Unity. games built with Unity will be installed between like 5 and 7 billion times on smartphones and smart devices in the next year. And that's a, conservative estimate actually. It could easily be higher. And it's such an interesting category and exciting place to be part of, the smartphone and smart device ecosystem, simply because the growth rates are so high and the engagement is so deep. We see these double-digit or even sometimes triple-digit growth rates across different markets and segments. And any software developer, that's us and that's you, who participates in that just has these incredible opportunities, right? And and of course, a lot of that is powered by our friends at Samsung. So when you look at sort of the the actual category, all these games, what's exciting is that many of them are these are all Unity games, by the way, just a drop in the ocean. But all the games between them, those that are built with Unity and those that are not, are consistently one of the top factors for engagement with devices. And when you look at the direct monetization, depending on the exact marketplace and location, we see 70 to 90% of direct app monetization being driven by games, right? So if you pair that with the high growth of the whole ecosystem, it's completely stunning. And what's exciting is that you guys are there to take advantage of that, and it's sort of it's going to stop at some point, but the next 3-4 years will be completely exciting. So it's also a very competitive space. It's nothing easy here. When you have such great opportunities, you get a lot of very, very talented people flocking to it, and some of the smartest game developers, software developers in the world are working in this industry. They're working with incredible tools, they're working with incredible speed, and that creates real challenges. And we've always considered that, our biggest kind of goal in life was to make it more possible, more easy for more people to participate in this than ever before. And, we're proud of seeing, small teams, even individual developers being very successful. Now, with all these challenges, but, combined with these incredible opportunities, we decided to partner with Samsung, or, Samsung with us. It's been a while in the making, to build what Samsung so elegantly refers to as the Samsung GDK, Game Development Kit, and taking the very best of what Unity is, which is incredible workflows, high performance rendering, special effects, shaders, lighting, AI, and so on and so forth, all the best things that are needed for game development, and combining it with what Samsung has to offer. So we've gone and optimized with our engineers Unity for the Samsung devices and chipsets. We're making it a breeze to add game console, game controls to your games. And also, and what's really exciting, I think, is we're making it fun and awesome to build multi-screen applications with Unity, right? So the way it's implemented, since you're engineers, you'll appreciate this. We're taking an extra screen is simply an extra camera in your world, right? So this camera can be watching the same objects, in which case you get a mirror. They can be watching very different objects, in which case, you can have a HUD or something else. Or they can be watching the same objects or the same scene from different angles, which creates really nice ways of building challenging and compelling experiences. So we're still working on this. It's sort of an early alpha. We are not releasing anything yet. But since you're all part of the Samsung game development, Samsung development community, keep an eye there, because we'll be releasing something soon enough. And until then, since, it'll be more than a couple of months, you can simply go to our site and download the free tools and start playing with them. And you'll find that all the stuff you've built with Unity will be working extremely well with all the stuff that Samsung does to build, these very kind of native feeling Samsung apps. So hey, thanks for having me, and it's wonderful to be here. I'll see you out there, and looking forward to partnering with you guys and these guys and bring the whole thing to a new level. Cheers.
Please welcome to the stage, In-jong Ri.
Wow, it's exciting music and a lot of big crowd. I feel like being in a rock concert, with long hair and. Unfortunately, I'm going to talk about boring stuff, the enterprise platform, right? But it's my job to make our device enterprise ready and also fun to use. That's what Samsung Knox is. Hello, my name is In-jung Ri. I run Knox business and also in charge of the enterprise R&D division in Samsung Mobile. Before I talk about enterprise platform, let's talk about the opportunities out there. What kind of market opportunities out there? Can you guess, next 4 or 5 years, how many smartphones around the world will be there? Yeah, I heard it ranges from 1.5 billion to about 2 billion. That's a huge number, right? And how many of those will be used for enterprise? Can you guess? In fact, it's about 40%, which means up to 800 million phones will be enterprise phones. And it's also amazing that the 60% of them will be Android. Well, this projection is actually coming from the assumption that the enterprise market is led by consumer market. Okay? But if you look at actually the growth rate, the enterprise market is going to be about 35%, which is about 3 to 4 times faster than the consumer market, which is about 10% annual growth. Okay? So this means a big opportunity, huge opportunity for device manufacturer like us, because we're seeing on the consumer market is getting into saturation. But we're seeing a big jump in the enterprise market pretty soon, next 4 or 5 years. And also a big opportunity for carriers. They can sell more data plans. And there's more opportunity for your developers. Okay. So these are really a projected number. How can you make this projection a reality? Okay. So with projection based on our consumer market trend, the trend of bring your own device to the work, and the consumers actually driving the enterprise, right? But what does it take to make this a reality? Let me ask you this question. What does it take? Can I have a show of hand? How many of you carry more than one phone? Wow, a lot of people here. Can I see your phones? Hey, I see some phones from fruit companies. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should bring the Samsung phone here. Right. Well, that's what it takes. Don't bring 2 phones. Don't carry 2 phones. Carry 1 phone. It's already made out of, when you take it out of box, it's already enterprise ready and also good for personal use. And you just carry 1 phone. If I can make that phone is going to be Android and also Galaxy, then I think I can make this projection a reality. Okay? So when I came to this job about 2 years, I think 6 months ago, I came from the university. I was a university professor for 15 years. And the mission that was given to me was that making this as a reality, make Galaxy device really a mainstream in the enterprise market. Okay, so what I did is the first thing I did was I asked all the CEO, the potential customers like CIOs and IT managers, employees, who will be the users of enterprise devices. What does it take to adopt Android device in the workplace? I get 2 answers. Can you guess what they are? Yes, the security. Second one is device management. You heard this many times. These are the 2 critical components as perceived to be, I say perceived to be, missing or lacking in the Android for enterprise use. A lot of people are saying, oh, Android is not secure, Well, that's a perception that I need to cast off in order to make my business. Second one is that the mobile device management, right? It's a device management. You do it from the remote, PCs or servers and things like that. Today, Android actually offers some limited set of the APIs. You can implement about 35 IT policies or something. And they're saying it's too limited. They want more flexibility in controlling and managing their employees' devices. So what I have done, I took my team and then took to the drawing board and start re-engineering and redesigning security architecture of Android. That's how Samsung Knox is born. Knox is Samsung's secure Android platform. I proclaim here, Knox is going to transform enterprise mobility. Let's look at the under the hood and what the platform is all about. And this is going to be a little bit rocky from now on. It's going to be a lot of technical stuff. So I want you to fasten your seatbelt, right? Here we go. So what you're seeing here is the Android regular stack. You know all this. You're supposed to know it because you guys geeks. And you're not? Well, just because you being here is already proves that you guys geek, right? Right. So what is this regular bootloader, kernel, operating system, Android, OS and framework and application layer? There's a blue box as there is called trust zone. It's like a hardware protected execution environment where you run, protect some certain, security sensitive applications, which is protected from normal world processes access. Okay. So what we have done is that we actually put in the security mechanism in each of this layer, okay? And so what we started off is we actually started off from the hardware-based security. Hardware-assisted is not the root, it's routing, prevention, and detection. And sometimes being a professor, I keep track of spelling, so you can blame me for this. So what it's doing is that I'm not going to go over all details of this thing. And there's a white paper out there. You can actually read more about it. And then there's also some tutorials in this conference, and I recommend you to go to some of them. And so to give you a really high-level description of what it is, right? Today, most of Android devices today allows users to run custom ROM. Okay, so this is kind of running a custom ROM, meaning is running some binary that is not given by the manufacturer. Okay, but it's convenient for geeks like you. You can run some wipe our Samsung devices and run some different system binary on it. But it's a nightmare for IT managers because when the device is stolen or fallen onto the wrong hand, and the hackers can actually replace the system binary and run the custom ROM, then he can have the full access to all the data stored on the device. That's data leakage. So what we have done is that we have to solve this problem. We still have to allow custom ROM to run, but at the same time, we have to make sure all this illegal routing is prevented or detected. When it's detected, we should be able to lock up all the important data so that those data will not be leaked out. That's what we have done with these three components here. And this is actually implemented based on hardware features like trust zones and the hardware keys and the hardware-based encryptions and so forth. Along with that, we have implemented a property called mandatory access control, or MAC. MAC allows more detailed access control to the system resource than what regular Linux and Android offers. Like Linux offers what the read-write execution and group permissions, right? But what this Mac, or we say security enhancement for Android, allow you to do is that they allow you to specify which process can access which system resources. It's very, very expressive. Okay? So what this is doing is that it gives you, well, it actually significantly limits the ability of the hacker to escalate the privilege of the process. Once you hack a process, the first thing the hackers will be doing is escalate the privilege so that they can actually gain the root access to the device. Okay? What we have done with the Mac here is that we define expressively which system resources that a process can access. When that process got hacked, that the damage of hacking is confined to the privilege given to that particular process. On the framework side, we added a lot of device management components, okay? APIs, where our Knox SDK will be sitting in. Data encryptions, and VPN, and two-factor authentication, single sign-on, you name it. All the features that is, a lot of features that are requested by my customers are put into this framework. Okay. Along with that, we actually implemented a concept of dual persona. Okay, so dual persona is more like, okay, you have one phone, but there's a two persona. Well, it sounds really mad, right? But all of a sudden, I changed my persona and doing a professor and being a Samsung employee. So it's like one persona is like a personal persona, and the other persona is like work persona. In the personal persona, you do all the stuff that you've been doing in your device, right? Download the application, and watch YouTube and do games and things like that. On the work persona, it's fully managed by IT managers. And you can run only those applications allowed by the IT managers in there. And data is fully encrypted and supported by all the security features that I actually just talked about here. The routing preventions and MAC and all of them is going to protect this container data from there. Okay. So, well, a lot of people, some people actually say this is no rocket science. Well, this is not a rocket science. This is darn good computer science, I'll tell you. Right? Okay. So let's do a bit of comparison. I cannot really name our competitor here, so I just said competition A and B and C in there. So when you see on the, so what you have to understand is not the entire table here, but the arrow on the left-hand side. Knox actually covers the security features covers from the hardware all the way to the applications. Our competition is missing on this dotted area, mostly, and especially on the hardware-assisted protections and security features. And the pink arrow is actually representing the application-level container solutions out there. You have seen many of those things. I'm not going to name those. But what this is that this application-level container is because it's actually running in an application, it actually runs as a regular process. If your system got compromised, then all the security guarantee for that container is gone. It's become completely vulnerable. And so that's what what Knox is doing is that it's actually protecting those data and the container, and it's bolted on top of the system platform features and hardware features, so that when the device rooting happens, it actually automatically protects them. Okay. So the good news is that now most of Galaxy devices, new Galaxy devices, and 1-year-old as well, by default run Samsung Knox. So when you actually buy the device right outside the box, or upgrade your device to 4.3, Android 4.3, you're running Knox. You have, as a consumer or employee or whatever, that you're actually running Knox. You're actually enjoying the security features we are providing on our devices. So now, with one device, it can handle your personal fun stuff. And also, it can handle the enterprise. Okay? It's available on Note 3, Galaxy S4, Note 2, Galaxy S3, also selected tablets. And we'll keep expanding this portfolio. This is the nice thing about what Samsung Knox is our competitiveness actually lies in the huge selection of wide selection of devices at all price points. So our competition may have just one or two devices, but we actually crank out devices like crazy. All of them. So it's just more selection for you, right? The writing application for Knox is fairly easy because Knox full application, it simply runs on Knox platform and Knox container. And further, there is a way you can differentiate your applications with the Knox SDK, which offers about 1,000 APIs or more, and which is you can actually use it to implement more than 500 IT policies. Okay. It actually, a lot of features actually ranges from all the hardware features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the sensors you can actually control, and including the softwares like the contact, email, browser, and all of that. Pretty much you can control entire device. With this, you can actually, not only write the MDM, mobile device management applications, but you can write a lot of services like anti-theft, parental control, remote device troubleshooting, and also you can even write machine-to-machine applications with this. Because you can control the other machine with these APIs. It actually opens up huge opportunities for you guys. And I'm committed to deliver that device to you. Okay. Somebody clap. Thank you. So we will continue to expand our roadmap, like we're cranking out devices, secure devices, like crazy. And then also continue to evolve the security features to include we're actually focusing on a lot of hardware-based security elements. And so like secure elements and trust zones. And so you can actually, there's an API we will publish, and actually you can write trust zone-based applications. So for instance, like trusted UI, when you put in some password on it, it's never been logged. It's actually running inside the trust zone. You can write such applications. And we're going to also keep adding like a personal identification sensors, like fingerprint, iris detections, recognitions, a lot of hardware sensors in there. And that's how we're going to evolve in the future. Right, so you can actually learn more about Knox at this site, samsungknox.com. And if you have a question, you can tweet about it. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage, David Un.
Together. I joined the company about 2 years ago, and one of the things that hit me, and hopefully you're going to get a sense of today, is our scale and our size. Last year, we spent close to $11 billion on R&D. We had 67,000 people, about a quarter of our workforce, in 33 R&D centers around the world, thinking about great ways to innovate in hardware and software. And the thing that we know as we do this is that it can't be done just on people and large budgets. We need to work with people on the outside. We need to partner. We need to have a sharing of learnings and best practices to really figure out what kinds of new, unique experiences we can create for our users. So this conference is a step in that direction, and what I want to do is share a little bit about the vision of, as I said, what's bringing this all together, and then frankly put a plug in for my own group. I run a group called the Open Innovation Center, and we are exclusively focused on working with startups, many people like yourselves. So we are in a unique position right now, Samsung. We're #1 in mobile and in the TV space. To give you a little bit of color, we ship over 1 million mobile devices every day. This is around the clock, 7 days a week. And as Curtis told you in TVs, this is the 7th year we've been #1 in TVs. We sold 53 million TVs last year. That's roughly 2 a second, as Curtis said. Now, we know many of these devices and screens are connected. Juan Pablo talked to you about how we're thinking about multi-platform ways to develop apps and experiences. And this is largely due by the fact that 40% of the global population has now some form of internet capability. But as these devices are connected to the internet, we know that they're not all yet connected to each other. And once these devices connect to one another, we hope to build, along with you, one of the largest platforms in the world for distributing content, services, apps, and ads. We call this the connected home and the connected life. Now, it's not easily done. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in fits and starts and in phases. But we feel like we are well on our way to getting there. We have this vision. We have the aspirations. We're going to invest in it. And we really want to work with you to do that. One of the ways we're going to do that is with the Open Innovation Center. We have offices in Silicon Valley, New York, and in Seoul. And as I said, we work exclusively with startups. And our mission is to accelerate what we're trying to do in software and services to complement our world-class hardware. So we do that in 4 very distinct ways, hopefully many ways that might interest you all. One is that we invest in early-stage companies. Our sweet spot is seed to Series B, I would say. And we are trying to create an alignment with promising startups with our operating groups so we can accelerate and generate deep collaborations. The second is partnerships. We're looking for iconic companies that can help us really build truly unique experiences. I say this over and over because we realize it's that critical. The third is acquisitions. We're looking for talent in early stage companies in particular, my group is, to help drive our innovative product development. And lastly, we have set up accelerators in Palo Alto and New York where we're incubating our own startups. We know that there is a difference between creating a great product and creating a great company. And one of the things that we'd like to propose, and we've engaged with many entrepreneurs at this point, is to allow top companies, top people to form companies within the accelerator and have them focus exclusively on developing great products. We want to give everyone a balance between having the autonomy and independence of a startup, but having the scale and resources of a Samsung. So the companies in our accelerators will have access to product roadmaps, to decision makers, to competitive intelligence, and potentially distribution. So I've rushed through my presentation here. I want to make sure we don't fall too much further behind schedule, but we really, really thank you all for coming. We thank you for your interest, and we look forward to working with you.
Please welcome to the stage Michael Ludden.
Hello. All right, I am the last presenter, and I'm going to take practically none of your time. So yeah, let's give a round of applause to that. Sorry for going over. We wanted to make up for it. If you could please just check under your seats really quickly. I'm just kidding. Everybody literally just checked under their seats. I'm sorry, that was really mean. I've wanted to do that for so long. That's a childhood dream. But you are all getting Galaxy Note 8s. All paid attention. Yeah, it was worth the wait, huh? That's right. So We're giving everybody a Galaxy Note 8 who paid for a ticket. You can pick it up tomorrow on the show floor anytime, all day. We want you to come back. We want you to explore the show floor. We have sessions all day today. The session that was going to take place right after this is still going to take place. It's going to be kind of in parallel with lunch, so nothing else gets screwed up. So if you're heading to that session, grab some lunch and head upstairs. We have tons of other giveaways as well. We've got a lot of Note 3s we're going to be giving away tomorrow on the show floor. We're going to have like show floor bingo, and the show floor is here. We're also giving it away via the Chat On application, so if you haven't downloaded that, please do download that. Today we're giving away several smart TVs, large, giant smart TVs, at the Smart TV sessions and also at the Exploratorium party, which is happening at the Exploratorium tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. I think that's all of the things I need to go through. There's a quick map. You can snap a picture, but if you have any questions, feel free to tweet at us. We'll also share details of how to win more prizes. Hashtag SDC13. I've been looking through the Twitter feed. Really interesting tweets going on. Again, Galaxy Note 3s, smart TVs, more prizes. Check out hashtag SDC13. And thank you to all of our sponsors and speakers, and thank you most of all to you, the developers. Thanks a lot.